Here, good morning, Willie Waffle. Good morning. Do you want me to hit his button? It just doesn't work automatically? You're kidding. Willie, good morning.
Good morning. You pushed the right button.
I
Awesome.
did. So before we get started here, what in the hell is going on in this world? We have live streaming social media. And I was in a conversation with somebody about this last night. We thought it was going to be nuclear weapons that was going to create anarchy and destruction in the world. Turns out it's social media. Everything can be instantly streamed, causing an uprising. We've seen countries toppled in the Middle East and throughout the world. And, here now we have these live streaming events that are going on as somebody's being pulled over and somebody gets shot. Now there's snipers shooting at police officers, 5 officers dead in Dallas. What is going on in this world?
We've gone insane as a society, and we've seen this kind of developing over the years. Not so much that we thought it would get to violence, but people just don't have polite disagreements anymore in society. It is, if you do not believe in what I believe in, you are my mortal enemy, and I must crush you because we have different ideas. And that's not going to go anywhere, folks. That's not going to help us in any way. Think about the violence that we've seen at some of the Donald Trump rallies where people are coming with the intention to start a riot, to protest Trump by beating people up or enticing fights. I mean, it's insane. And now what happened last night is just beyond the pale. There is no justification for this. And if this is the direction we're going in, we're in a lot of trouble as a country. Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. It really raises the bar here. It takes us to a whole new level. And, I mean, remember when there were we've seen stuff like this before, but never quite like this. Never where there was a mass shooting of police officers. Remember in D.C. years ago, you must have been out there at the time, when those 2 snipers, it was a stepfather and son, I forget the whole story there, but they were just shooting at random people, and it took weeks to be able to catch those guys.
Yes, some of the scariest weeks of my life.
Yeah. And now here we are, in this case, it seems, they're going after police officers and warning there could be more. It's just really scary.
And this argument that, we're just going an eye for an eye. You're killing us, so we're going to kill you. And it's not all the police. It's not all the people who are protesting. It's these zealots, if you will, on both sides that are causing this trouble. And the saner heads are no longer kind of prevailing. The saner heads are no longer stepping in and saying, you're all wrong. It's like we all have to stand on our side because the war is coming.
And then you have somebody who's the governor of a state coming out yesterday and calling the shooting that happened in Minnesota a racist act. Before the investigation was even complete, either this governor found out secure information that we don't know anything about, or that was an unbelievably irresponsible statement by the governor.
I tend to agree with you. When you're the governor, you're not supposed to think of situations like this as my chance to look good.
Yeah.
You're supposed to exactly what you said. You're supposed to stand up. You're supposed to be the voice of reason. You're supposed to say, listen, we need to fully investigate this. And if it turns out that this is what it looks like, I'll make sure every one of those people is punished beyond punished.
Instead, coming out and saying, I think those people would be alive if they were white. I mean, wow. That is, and if you watched any of the live stream, that police officer was, I'm not saying he was in the right. We don't know the full details as of yet, but I can tell you he was hysteric. He was in hysterics. He was extremely distraught over what he had done. You could see it on tape.
Well, and then the other thing you don't see is what happened before that tape was rolled.
We don't see that.
What happened before it was? See, that's always the key when we talk. We take a look at just a snippet of tape, or we take a look at just a snippet of a quote. We don't know the full context. And I'm not saying this guy's innocent. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying we don't have the full picture in any situation like this.
All right. I know it's hard to do, but we'll transition into movies this weekend. The Secret Life of Pets. What do you think of this? Is this an animated movie? Or?
Yep, it's an animated film. You get Louis C.K. and Eric Stonestreet, the voice of 2 dogs. Louis C.K., the luckiest, happiest dog in New York City, whose life is upended when his owner adopts a new stray dog played by Eric Stonestreet, and they're trying to prove that each one is the master of the house. They're trying to get the other one kicked out, and that's when it all goes wrong because they end up lost on the streets of New York City. They're taken by animal control. and they're freed by a mad, crazy bunny rabbit played by Kevin Hart, who only frees them if they will become part of his gang of former pets who are pledged to get even with the humans who abandoned them.
I got to tell you, as you've gone through these animated movies, we've watched over the last decade these movies to become masterpieces where they deal with human emotion. They have inside jokes for the adults so they can enjoy the movie just as much as the kids. Is this one of those?
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say it's a very entertaining movie. An action movie more than it is a comedy, although it's got a lot of comedy in it. And it's a movie that's very entertaining. You go along with it. You go on this wild adventure these two dogs are having while they're out on the streets of New York City they don't recognize, they've never really been a part of. You see the friendship maybe developing between the two of them. But more than anything, you're enjoying, I think, the voice acting, especially Kevin Hart, who you have not lived until you've seen him play an insane bunny rabbit, okay? Megalomaniacal, absolutely unhinged. It is hilarious to watch, just proving once again talking animals are funny.
All right, what are you giving it?
I'm going to say 3 waffles.
Wow, that's a goodie. Now, when you make a movie that has real people in it, boy, does it get complex. Mike and Dave need wedding dates. What do you think of this one?
Well, they also need a more imaginative script. They're trying so hard to make this a dirty, filthy, foul-mouthed, R-rated movie, they forgot to make it funny. And then they think, well, if we just yell the lines, it'll be funny. No, volume does not equal comedy in this case. So you end up with this movie where they think they're doing something outrageous and it's semi-outrageous, and the dialogue is just full of all sorts of expletives. And hey, it's not like I'm some shy violet and I can't handle it. It's so forced. They throw in the curse words like they're an 8-year-old who just learned a new vocabulary and wants to prove that they know all the words.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I just had to take a breath.
Oh, wow. Scared me to death with that. Listen, what are you giving it?
I'm going half a waffle.
Ooh.
All right. Well, again, like I said, it's so much easier when you just have to deal with the voices, and the animation department works on everything else. When you bring these real people in, it's hot on the set. This one's got to go to this event. This one's got to go back to his trailer. It's just, it's a crazy... It makes it more complex, and it's harder to make that great movie. Yes, yes. Hold tight, man. All right, what do you say? It's wafflemovies.com before you go to the movies, and let Willie guide you so you don't make a mistake. Thank you, Willie Waffle.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your weekend.
All right, you two guys.
Speaking of enjoying your weekend, here it looks like I don't know. There'll be a chance of thunderstorms right on through the weekend. The Boilermaker Expo going on today and tomorrow. All sorts. The Kids Run will be happening tomorrow, and of course the Boilermaker 5K and the 15K all happening on Sunday. What's the weather look like? We have a full forecast coming up, but I can tell you it doesn't look like the chance of rain is as high as it was yesterday for this Sunday. The forecasters have backed off just a bit. We'll give you that full Boilermaker forecast coming up along with news, which is next. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 7 o'clock.